13. We're a little over a week away from Halloween, and while the costumes, the candy, and the trick-or-treating are all part of the fun, keeping the kids safe is just as important as making sure they're getting their favorite sweets when they're out there.
You or them.
Yeah, you or them. I always tell my kids, I'm like, go for the Snickers and the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Okay, joining us this morning, Dr. Michael Glazier. He is the Chief Medical Officer at Bluebird Kids Health. Thanks for coming back and joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And to be honest, I have to admit, I love Halloween.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't love candy?
I love Halloween. Like most people, I have a bit of a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
You know, but the real reason I love Halloween is kind of that opportunity and platform it presents for promoting creativity and imagination.
Yeah.
And it's not just the kids, it's adults.
Yeah.
But like as a pediatrician and a parent, like I recognize the limitless capacity of a child's imagination and how important it is for their healthy development.
Absolutely.
I remember when I was a child, so I was 7 years old, second grade, I wanted to be the devil. And so
how'd that conversation go?
Hey mom, hey dad.
my mother made this costume. It was bright red head to toe. I had horns on a hood, and I had a 2-foot-long tail with a fork on the end. It was awesome.
Right.
But I remember about the third house in, I was the last to get a piece of candy, and I was running to catch up with my brother. And all 75 pounds of me made it outside the door, but the tail did not.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And apparently my mother could sew.
Yeah.
That tail was not gonna come off. So 75 pounds of like forward momentum turned into a face plant.
Yeah.
My candy went everywhere. I was fine, it was still the best Halloween ever. But I remember now as a parent, okay, we have to be conscientious of safety on Halloween.
I guess the skin knees went well with the red
Yeah,
costume.
right, right,
yes,
right.
absolutely.
All blended together. It's a good jumping off point though, because you get creative, you get these fun costumes. I think a lot of moms and dads like to lean into and have the best one, but the bigger they are and the more obstructed view that you have, the harder it is to stay on 2 feet.
No, absolutely, and not only is Halloween incredibly fun, but it's probably the single most distractible night. And it's not just the kids who are just focused on the next piece of candy, it's the adults and it's the driver. People unfortunately are often on their phone, they're not looking, and this night out of every other night is the most important for people to kind of pay attention. I think as far as costumes go though, to your point, like they need to be kind of snug fitting. Like they can't be too loose, they need to have something reflective on them, and if the costume doesn't, then glow sticks or flashlights need to be there.
I'm looking at this video here, and she's getting a nice little cruise there in the stroller. But when they're walking around, you're talking about just the costume themselves, but they all have the little buckets, right, that they want to fill, and that's just one more thing that they've got to navigate, walking around, teetering around. What would you suggest that they carry, or do they not carry? Do mom and dad carry? I
think mom and dad have to be a healthy extension of them. And I think it's important for them to carry something small, but to your point, they're often more focused on how many pieces of candy's in that bucket than, the safety of where they're walking. And so I limit it in terms of the size of what they carry. I'd also, limit it in terms of the amount they have.
Right.
Because I always bring in all my 3 kids extra candy.
Yeah, don't limit the amount.
Yeah, they love it. They love it. When you're talking about candy, what's the safest way for parents to kind of just making sure that their kids' candy is good to go at the end of the night before they start digging in? Yeah,
and I think setting forth guidelines before they go out and trick-or-treat is the most important thing. And so we're not eating candy on the fly, we're not eating it between houses, we're collecting it. And then we're bringing it home and we're giving it to parents so the parents can review it to make sure it's well packaged and to make sure if there is a food allergy in the house that it's not going to contaminate that or run the risk of making somebody sick.
Yeah, and the candy, obviously, that's the star of the show, right? Everybody gets excited about what they come home with, Reese's and Snickers. What is your best advice? It's probably easier said than done, but in terms of the kids, they've got this big bucket of candy. They obviously want to plow through that. How do you let them enjoy it, not steal the joy of Halloween, but also not go overboard?
Yeah, I think that one of the key words in parenting, not just for Halloween, but in general, is moderation. And we have to teach our kids moderation. And anything in excess is really to be avoided, candy especially.
Right.
So setting those guidelines out in the beginning of the night, we're here to collect and have fun, but we're not here to eat it all. I would set a number, like say, hey, you're gonna get 10 pieces. We're gonna pick the best 10 pieces, and the rest of it, we could either do a buyback program at home, so we can teach kids a little bit about math and financial responsibility.
Good idea.
Or we're gonna find a place that we can donate it to.
Yeah. What's the number one thing you get concerned about on this night specifically as a pediatrician?
I I think it's the safety of kids out on the street, after hours when it starts to get dark and they're not that visible. I think also in Florida it's the heat. So the other thing is, as parents, we need to bring water bottles, and not just bring them, but encourage and make our kids drink them in between houses.
Take a break.
Good idea.
Take a break.
For all of us, too. I think kids of all ages, I think we could all live in moderation as well.
Absolutely.
If people are looking for a great pediatrician, how do they find you?
Yeah, so Bluebird Kids Health, I'm actually currently practicing in Broward County. We also have offices in Palm Beach County and Duval County out in Jacksonville, and we're hoping to come to Tampa soon.
Perfect. Well, thanks for coming in this morning. We
Appreciate
appreciate it.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate the tips. We could all use them for sure. And a good idea. Be careful, be mindful out there on Halloween, just for all those trick-or-treaters.
And by the way, we have some good news because we're kind of looking at a long-range